Washington Examiner reports, in Shift, Medicare would pay for sex change operations. For the first time since 1981, when it dubbed sex change operations experimental, Medicare has opened the door to covering transsexual operations, adding to the growing list of operations that would be allowed under Obamacare. Acting on a new request, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services said it is starting a new analysis that could lift the spending ban for sex change operations, with a goal of making a decision 2 days after Christmas, on the eve of Obamacare kicking in on January 1st, 2014. And this is the same kind of system as the government-run healthcare here in Britain, which my tax money now goes towards paying for people to get breast enlargement implants on the NHS, National Health Service. So if you want to get breast implants, if you want to have a sex change operation, then knock yourself out. That's your choice, but don't ask me to pay for it. And, you know, now we've got the story Planned Parenthood arguing for post-birth abortion, Chinese-style infanticide. So I guess eventually the argument will be, you know, include that in Obamacare as well. The horror of government-run healthcare coming to the US January 1st, 2014. And just go and look at the British example. If you want to give yourself chills, of course, you've got the Liverpool Pathway Care Programme, which actually serves to euthanize old people. Another little goodie, another little benefit of government-run healthcare coming to America. We turn now to a disturbing story out of Los Angeles involving a veterans home that's been defunded, and basically these veterans have been kicked out on the street. We turn to our correspondent Millie Weaver with that report.
Over 25,000 Los Angeles will be trekking across the veterans' homeland without even realizing that they're trespassing.
To discuss this issue, I met with Robert Rosebrock, who's heading the Old Veterans Guard
of the Veterans Revolution, and our mission is to save our veterans' land and to bring our homeless veterans home. This is their home. That war ended 38 years ago. Today, 47% of all homeless veterans are from the Vietnam War.
How many veterans are there actually in the veterans home right now, living in the veterans home?
Let me explain. Most of these buildings are empty. They were built 70 years ago. They have a few. I think you ran into some of them over there. They're in rehabilitation, and those are domiciliaries, but the buildings are empty. They're rat infested.
I wanted to find out what the LA Marathon volunteers and VA employees had to say about this issue.
Okay, and I work for the VA, so I can't.
You can't do interviews either?
Well, it's been one of the best things that's happened to me since I left the military back in 1981. I am a Vietnam Era vet.
So you've had fun? Hi.
I'm Sergeant Barth, VA Police. How are you doing today?
Good.
Who do you work with?
I'm just a citizen.
You're just a citizen?
Yeah.
Oh, you're just out here just filming just for...
Just for the LA Marathon and the veterans.
Oh, okay. So you don't work for any news agency or any press or anything like that?
I'm not wearing a press pass.
Oh, okay.
Miss, can you just stop recording? Thank you. You're recording still?
Yeah. People are recording all over the place.
Yes, but you continue to interview veterans and people that are on campus, and it's just not authorized.
But they gave permission.
It's authorized.
So is free speech not authorized? That's what I want to know. Are these grounds open for free speech?
They sure are. There is also federal laws that we have to follow, and that's why I'm trying to find out, because under 38 Code of Federal Regulations,
please stop recording.
If you're using it for any type of commercial purposes, you're going to show this for any type of gain or anything like that, that's where we come into that. That's why I'm just trying to find out. So,
I'm a citizen here videotaping this event. There's a lot of citizens here videotaping. He's a citizen and he's videotaping this event. I don't understand why I'm being hassled, because I'm just trying to videotape this event and document life. This is life.
I understand.
Oh,
you know?
absolutely, absolutely. We're just asking you not to interview our volunteers or...
Okay.
You can take video, you can take stills. We just ask that you don't interview anyone without any prior consent of the VA, because our public affairs does need to coordinate any interviews. So...
I interviewed some people running the LA Marathon, and none of them had any clue that so many veterans were basically exiled from the veterans home.
This was a bigger issue than I had even realized.
It's basically, we call it, it's the deed of 1888.
On March 3rd, 1888, John P. Jones and Arcadia DeBaker patriotically deeded over 400 acres of pristine West Los Angeles land to be permanently maintained as a national home for veterans.
It states 5 times in the deed to be permanently maintained as a national home for disabled soldiers. There's an act of Congress that preceded that one even before this could be established, and it's incorporated into the deed that refers back to the Congressional Act of 1887, 1 year prior.
Last year, around this time, you were arrested.
That was in 2009, actually.
Oh, it was in 2009.
We had the American flag up here, and they came out and took it down. We had it up here for 66 Sundays, and we hung it in distress, which is totally legal. When a ship is in distress, you hang it on the vessel. We did it here. They came out. I was arrested 6 times, and all 6 of those citations were false, trumped up, dismissed in federal court.
This is the home that the head of the VA is allowed to stay at. It's a giant mansion. She's not a veteran.
Donna Bider has a court order to recuse herself from her position, yet she treasonously remains, and nobody has enforced it.
I have reached out to Secretary Shinseki, Congressman Waxman, who this is in his district, to Senator Feinstein, the U.S. Senator, totally ignored.
One, I'm not a 6th grader. Senator, I've been on this committee for 20 years.
Is it the view of the senior senator from California that Congress should be in the business of specifying particular individuals who are not covered by the Bill of Rights?
Sir, Congress is in the business of making law. The Supreme Court interprets the law. They strike down the law, they strike down the law. And if this is brought up before the court, if it should pass, I'm sure that argument will be made.
That's exactly the point. The senator knows, having attended law school and professes to have some experience in the Constitution, none of these rights are absolute.
Well, it underscores the mental illness of this woman, quite frankly. She should be impeached, thrown out. This is, again, part and parcel. She supports the very wealthy homeowner groups that support her that wants this for a public park, both her and Henry Waxman.
Dianne Feinstein is trying to take the vets' guns from one hand while taking their money from the other.
Well, first of all, she has aided